Yay, we're live. I think it's live.
It should be all good. I've
Yeah,
just been
sick.
going for it.
All right, it's just been going. All right, sick. Welcome everyone to the channel. I'm really excited. We skipped Augment over the weekend because we knew that. Oh, well, I knew this was coming up, so we wanted to push it back a little bit to make sure we got Lauren on. So yeah, guys, massive news. Obviously, we had the Gamestop announcement that just happened, and so it makes complete sense to bring the man who kind of put it all together as a guest today. But yeah, Lauren, how's it going, man? We've been speaking for a while now. What's going on?
Oh, good, buddy. Yeah, thanks for bringing me on the show. And yeah, very cool announcement. Super happy that went through today. And yeah, it's a big team win. Like,
yeah,
we all, like, the whole team really worked hard on this deal, and the outcome is just amazing. Especially like the art assets are beautiful.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. And like, dude, we've been working on it for a while. We've had to keep quiet for a very long time, and it's nice to see kind of everyone excited about this. The community's like, there was a bit of a sentiment shift recently where everyone's semi-negative. We hit like what Overworld Private Beta 2, 0, and now GameStop and like merch store around the corner as well. Like everything is happening, and it's good to see that kind of energy elevated. But yeah, Skarks, how's it going on your end, man?
Yeah, good. It's been busy. I've been trying to get kind of all my content ideas for Zero and Overworld and everything onto the page because they all drop so close together, and I had a lot of trouble figuring out what I wanted to do first and what I had time to do and so on and so forth. But I've got a lot of things sitting in my drafts on YouTube already, so I'm excited to get thumbnails to them and get them uploaded and everything. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next couple of weeks. I think I've got some interesting stuff coming up, but I'm more excited about these promo discs. I wish I had more money than I do. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to have to scrounge the bottom of the barrel on this one, but yeah, no, they look sick. Also, I'm going to be a little bit quiet today. My partner's just behind me, so it's getting close to midnight. So yeah,
that's funny. So all right,
yeah,
cool. Yo, I'll lead us off, man. We'll go straight into it. But yo, Lauren, I kind of know already, but share it with the audience so they can get to know you a little bit. Just share a bit about yourself and your experience in Web3. Yeah, how did you get involved in Web3? How long have you been around for? Whatever you want to share.
Sure thing, man. Yeah, it was Bitcoin that got me into Web3. So my journey in Web3 started really 2015, I would say. Where I privately looked into an alternative for cash, basically, like fiat. And I was, at that time, starting just my master's in economics. So I was very obsessed with Bitcoin very quickly. And I was like, man, that's so cool. Currency that's not owned by anyone except people that run that network and own those coins. So what is that? And I was like, okay, I need to get into it. So I went down the rabbit hole, got then 2017, made 2017 really the decision to be more active rather than just observing the market and seeing Bitcoin grow. I wanted to be an active part in shaping the crypto community. So during my master's, I applied at a company in Hong Kong that was working on their own blockchain. And yeah, I became the first financial analyst and joined the company, moved to Hong Kong. And yeah, since then, I've been working professionally in crypto. And yes, with my 3 years, in the 3 years I've been in Hong Kong, it's mostly looking into venture capital from the venture capital side on crypto, meaning looking into interesting projects that are coming up in that space. And yeah, being part of a firm that was looking into doing multiple investments in that space. And all of the, after 3 years of doing this, I decided, man, I really need to get even closer to crypto and working actively on my own things. So I joined a company called Voltoro, which was actually the first precious metals precious metals crypto exchange in the world. And yeah, together with the C-level, we decided to also launch a stablecoin protocol that I concepted and launched, together with them successfully. And then 2022, I decided, okay, enough of DeFi. I want to go with my passion, which is gaming and Web3. What could be better than a director of partnerships position at Illuvium? Matched all two things, like all really the things that I love so much in that space together. Building a fantastic product, pairing it with the future of gaming, which is the crypto component. And here I am. 9 months in, Karen. We started on the first date.
Yeah.
We started on the same day, actually.
Yeah.
Here we are, and having this partnership, like this collaboration announcement with Gamestop.
Yeah. And fun story. Yeah. So we did start on the same day. I'm sure no one knows that. But that was really cool. But I swear, when I think Nick was like, "Oh, we had another person start today, Lauren." In my mind, I was like, "Oh, cool, it's a chick." And then I was like, "Oh man, maybe." I think I messaged Nick, and I was like, "Oh, maybe I should speak to her." And he's like, "Oh, to him." I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." And now, we speak like, it's fucking sick. It's fucking sick though. I couldn't have asked for another person to start with. Like, it's been a good ride for sure.
Yeah.
But how did you? So you've been in crypto for a while. How did you find Illuvium? Like, so you've been around, you've done that stuff, and you've said that gaming is your passion. But like, why Illuvium? How Illuvium? Like, how did that come on your radar? And what did you reach out to Kieran? How did that kind of relationship start to begin with?
Yeah, so I was looking for Web3 games for quite some time and playing some myself. And I thought that it's such a pity because they're not fun to play. Like, many of those games are just weren't, I haven't seen them like in competition with Web2. So I thought, man, that gaming revolution is not coming if there's not a really good title out there. And I was searching around what's being built in Web3 gaming, and this is how I found out about Illuvium.
Yeah.
And after checking the community, checking also the games and what the team has developed so far, I was like, man, that is the title that's going to build the bridge between Web2 gaming, meaning 3 billion people playing around the globe, and Web3, which is just like starting to grow with a few million people as active players in Web3. And I thought Illuvium is really the bridge, building a highway basically from Web2 into Web3. And I truly believe that NFTs and crypto as a technology are the future of the gaming industry. And therefore, it was for me a no-brainer seeking a position at Illuvium. And at that time, Illuvium was actually looking for a director of partnerships. Right. And I've been working in similar positions for many years. So I thought, hey, it's a good fit. I love the product. The team sounds great. Let's check it out. Then I applied, and here I am.
That's sick. Did you speak to Kieran directly, or?
Yeah. So the first interview was with one of our recruiters. The second one and the third were with Kieran. And that was since the beginning. I saw the passion that Kieran had for Illuvium, of course, and he sold it very well to me as well. I must say. No, but it's look, I'm a big gamer. We are speaking since beginning the same language. We shared really the same vision, and we both are going after building people, like building Web3 in a way that even like convenient Web2 gamers have so much fun in Web3 and see the value add through the blockchain technology and the ownership of assets. That we aligned on that vision and decided in this regard also on our partnership strategy. And Gamestop, by the way, fits really well into this. Maybe for the people to understand why Gamestop is such a important collaboration, why this collaboration with Gamestop is so important is that we showcase Illuvium to a huge amount of Web2 gamers. Gamestop, as one of the largest, if not the largest gaming retailer in the world, is just a fantastic partner to show that Web3 gaming is reaching AAA standards. And we are building what Web 2 has built in the past. We are building competing products with a huge value add for the gamers. So that was just a no-brainer and a great deal.
Yeah. Yo, I'm curious. Sorry.
I was just going to say it's been awesome having you on board, man. And TSG's told me all about some of the work you've been doing behind the scenes, and I look
Not
forward
details.
to more
Yo, don't get me in trouble.
Future. No, nothing like that. But he speaks very highly of you. So
thanks.
I was
keep going. Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
I'm surprised because he's not so nice to me. So
you're a dickhead. No. No, yo, Lauren, like for real though, and I'm keen to get Scarx's opinion on this as well, because when I first came into the crypto space, I think it was like 2020, right? And then I got into crypto gaming 2021, I think. And the stuff that we saw again in the bull market, everyone's fucking excited and everyone's like, oh my God, it's happening now. Like we're a year away. But the more I've been here, obviously we've been here for a little bit now, it seems like we're still quite far away. It's not as close as we think. And I've said this, I don't know if I've said this in this podcast, but the quote that always comes back to me is, we overestimate how much we can achieve in 1 year, but underestimate how much we can achieve in 5 or 10. So I'm curious, with that in mind, like for real, how far away do you think we are from actually hitting mainstream? Like for that, the 3 billion players that 3 billion players that we're talking about, how far is it before we even take half of them and bring half of them over to this new technology that all of us here clearly agree with? But in rather than being bullish next year, like what we did in 2021, 2022, like what do you think is a realistic time frame for that?
Well, it really depends on so many factors. It's hard to put in a time frame for this. But look, it's with word of mouth, we have one of the most powerful tools in marketing that you actually have out there. I think one of the best marketing channels is word of mouth. And building an army of marketers through really a value proposition that is so big that if I'm like part of it, and I think my friends would benefit from this as well, of course I'm going to share this with my friends. So word of mouth is a super powerful channel to get more people to check out a new thing. If you put it just in front of them and you say, okay, here it is, have some fun, well, some people might try it, but if a good friend says to them, here it is, it's so fun for me, you will like it too. Well, converting a Web 2 player through someone who has checked out the game in Web 3, loved it, so sees the value proposition through the ownership of assets, that conversion is what we are going after, I think. To a lot of, like, in my opinion, that conversion will drive the mainstream adoption. When that happens, we need a competing title. Like, we need a title that can compete with Web 2, and from the gameplay perspective as well as the graphics. And with Illuvium, we have that title that title is currently in testing. So we are getting closer, and I think it will spread like a wildfire once we are in public with the betas, and people can access the game and check out what Web 3 can actually accomplish, plus the amazing value proposition for gamers, which I would have loved to many years ago, being a kid playing World of Warcraft and many other games that are just, in the retro perspective, was fun, but a waste of time. In the future, at least I can remain some of the value, or the value that I've unlocked in those Web 3 titles.
The example I always use is like Pokemon cards, right? Like, you don't go and buy Pokemon cards thinking you're going to be rich. Like, you pay, let's say, $7, and maybe you can sell 1 or 2 for 50 cents, $1. You get some of the money back, not all of it. But at least that's better than you pay $7, you get $0 back. Like that's crazy. Like it's just, and that's what we've been doing for video games. Like I was playing, there was a time that we were playing Risk. I don't know if you know the board game Risk, but we were playing Risk on online, and we were super hyped on it. I spent like a couple of $100 on skins and shit, and now I just don't even play that game. And it's just stupid. It's like you get caught in the energy. You're like, oh, this is amazing. 2 weeks later, you forget about it, and you're like, oh man, my money's gone. So yeah, I feel you. I feel you 100%. Skarks, do you want to just jump in?
Yeah, I was going to actually come from pretty much the same angle as Lauren. I think we're really aligned on this. But all I was going to say is, you need a really compelling social space before mainstream adoption is going to come in, and that's why I think people are going so hard on the metaverse. It's because that's going to be the easiest way to get people in, for exactly the reason Lauren just said. It's all about that word of mouth, and once you have a compelling social space. How I always imagined World of Warcraft built itself up. And that's what I'm imagining. Illuvium has to become the next World of Warcraft before it can get mainstream adoption. But how I always imagined World of Warcraft built itself up is a handful of people found it and started enjoying it. Then they brought in their friendship groups. And everyone has 2 or 3 friendship groups. And eventually it just multiplies itself and you get a lot of people in the game. But you need a compelling game that people can enjoy together as groups. And that doesn't necessarily need to be co-op gameplay. You can see through League of Legends, people share that shared culture, and that brings that word of mouth for that as well, in that player versus player type environment as well. So I definitely think there's a lot of elements there, but Lauren's pretty much on it. It needs to be compelling enough for people to bring their friends that they want to play with. That's pretty much the only way mainstream adoption is going to happen. And I think Illuvium's leading the space, but I don't think open beta is going to be that enough to get mainstream adoption. It'll definitely get lots of players and a player base. It will get a good player base, a solid foundation. But once it gets to that next level with all those social elements, I think it'll be able to push for that mainstream.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think open beta is definitely going to be, because again, we all kind of think of, I won't say we all, but a majority of people legitimately think from A to Z. They don't look at B, C, D, E. And open beta is that B step or that C step, right? It's still just another step to the end goal. So to imagine that, oh, we're gonna win everyone over and we're gonna be the fucking biggest title in the world with open beta, just seems uninformed, is what I would say.
Yeah, but the question was more like, when does it start?
Yeah,
and I think it starts with a playable title that people can.
Yes, agreed.
And this is where I think the first time when people are entering the betas, and they're public, that they can bring in their friends and let them check them out too. So the beginning is really, I think, with the open beta. But yeah, it's still a journey, and even after it will take time to really get to the point that we say, okay, we are now mainstream.
Yeah, 100%. Yo, Skarks, you wanted to jump in, and sorry, Skarks, real quick, I just want to address Alex. Alex, your question about esports partnerships, we actually have that later in this, so we will address that in as broad a way as possible. Skarks, go.
I was just going to say, we've just seen the massive announcement with the Gamestop partnership. Okay. What are you hoping to achieve through this relationship? Like, is this just the first stage with Gamestop? Is there a lot more in the works, or even like, I just want to see plushies in a GameStop store. I'm not going to lie to you. That's what I want. But where do we go from here with this partnership?
Yeah. So, yeah, with this collaboration with GameStop, we are very much focusing on bringing out a beautiful collection of Illuvitars. And you guys have seen those that we have published, and with having the largest or one of the largest gaming retailers in the world collaborating with us on such a special collection as our first promo collection is a huge win. And yeah, there's a lot of things like plushies in the stores that we can think where this route will take us. But until that time, until those get properly announced, and if they get properly announced, we have to hold back. So focusing on that collection is what we're doing now. I think the outcome is just fantastic. our art team, led by Roger for this, did an amazing job. I saw it maturing from sketches to what we can see now, and they're so fantastic. I want each single one of those. Personally.
Yeah. If you had to choose one, Lauren, and yo, chat, let us know in chat as well. If you could only pick one, what's your top one? But yeah, Lauren, favorite one, go.
Archie. I'm a big Archie fan.
Archie, yeah. Skyrox?
I like the arcade controller too much, so it's probably Dash. Otherwise, it might have to be the Emblinks.
Yeah. For me, it's definitely Dash. But honestly, I think the Doka looks pretty dope as well. I think the Doka looks pretty sick. Yeah. Well, we got Galion in chat. We have Dash. Yeah. I think anyone hoping for a Galion, fingers crossed, man. That's gonna be fucking impossible to get. Dash and Emberlinks. Yeah. Dash is like a popular one, man. But yeah, sick. I think the GameStop stuff. Let's focus on the Illuvitas, and then we'll kind of see what happens, if anything. But let's focus on making sure that this collection does well and it really pops off for them and us, for the community. Yo, Lauren, we kind of just mentioned it, right? About what goes into like actually making long-term deals. Like, it's not as easy as clicking your fingers. I see what I see in the community a lot, that people say, why don't you do this? Why don't we partner with these guys? Why haven't we partnered with them? As if it was just that easy. Do you mind, for those that don't know, can you share the process of what acquiring a deal like this actually looks like? Like, what are the steps? What's the timeline? Just what can you share about something like that?
Yeah. So in general, making partnerships in Web3 is crucially important from many reasons. It's not only because a lot of marketing channels don't exist in Web3, or not for Web3 projects. So we're blocked from actively promoting their platforms, their products, from various medias. And the problem here is that like, the more importantly, it becomes to find alternative channels to build a community. And partnerships in Web3 are one of those channels, I would say, where you can, partner with different Web3 projects and cross promote with other projects. And really, it's important to look always from a value perspective of such partnerships and collaborations, because you don't want to do partnerships that are just pure hype, but there's no value add. So that is not a great way to do partnerships. So building partnerships in Web3 is really about finding a collaboration, finding a product or promotional an activity that unlocks value for the DAO or the DAOs or the project themselves, or even for the communities. So sometimes these activations are mostly like to entertain the communities and to meet new people, to participate and compete as a gaming company against other people doing, for example, quests and such. So it's very hard to say, like, in general, it's this process. It doesn't exist. So you have to have some flexibility here. And especially looking at, larger companies like, for example, Gamestop, as well as other companies that are moving into Web3. Those huge blue chip companies, they are not the fastest on signing such partnerships or signing collaborations. It's a process that takes a time, where they get a feel first of the Web3 space in most of the cases, and then you start with formulating a product. You start coming together with both teams and building up first the idea. If the interest has been awakened before, let's say it like that. And from the idea and building the concept to translating this into not only a product, but also a promotional plan and everything, it's a lengthy long process with a lot of different people involved. And then there's this whole signing a deal thing. So signing in paperwork. and paperwork also takes time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot time and effort that goes into a collaboration, like into such big collaborations. But at the end, it's worth it because, like, for example, with this GameStop deal, yes, we have now also a channel into a huge Web2 audience where we can showcase the great work that our team has done on Illuvium Beyond, as well as the other gaming titles.
Yeah.
And that's awesome because Web3 can compete with Web2 in terms of graphics and gameplay. Let's get those Web2 people in, and partnerships like this get us forward.
Yeah. Yo, I just thought of a fun question. What's your favorite part of making a deal, and what's your least favorite? I think I already know the least favorite, but what's the favorite part?
The favorite part, man, I'm an ideas person. I love conceptualizing those ideas.
Yeah.
I've heard the funniest stuff.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I remember once someone told me he wants to tokenize the moon. Yeah, we didn't progress too far on that idea, but yeah. On the other hand, getting together with people that you don't really know, at least not privately at all, and you start seeing where they come from very different like thought processes and experiences, and building together a product every time, like that's part of my daily job basically. It's just amazing. It's so much fun. And yeah, the thing that I don't like so much,
I already know. Can I guess? It's the signing of the paper. It's the paperwork. Is that what? Yeah, it's fucking. It's horrendous.
All out at words.
Yeah, it's horrendous. It's horrendous.
In a very difficult manner that you have to reread every line 5 times. So
lawyer knees is its own language. It's fucking crazy. And I've noticed that about marketing people. It's like, oh, we have all these great ideas. This is a great idea. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then it comes down to the paperwork. It's like, yeah, fuck that. Nah, that's F it. That's F it. Answering the question quickly, Blosive, will there be a standard and mega disc? No, it's just gonna be a one-off promo disc. 20,000 of them. That's it. I think there was 6 Illuvitas. Is there 5 or 6?
Yep.
6.
T0 and T1 5.
Yeah, so there's 6 Illuvitas. You get 1 Illuvita out of the disc, and it comes with 3 expressions, hollow, non-hollow, and it randomizes whether you get 1 accessory, 2, 3, 4, 5 accessories.
And there's 3 different backgrounds.
3 different backgrounds. Yeah. That's it. All right. Yo, this is a topic that I found super interesting, Lauren, and I'm keen to have you share this with everyone as well. But so again, I deal with influencers. I've started to kind of come on board a little bit more with partners, and you're kind of training me up in that kind of area as well, which I'm super grateful for. I've learned a lot because of that. And in one of the conversations that we've shared, you've kind of talked about different types of partnerships, such as a revenue sharing partnership, a strategic partnership, so on and so forth, all these other kinds. Can you break down what some of those types of partnerships are and why we would target each one? Like, what's the benefit of each one? Just so, because I see a lot of the times in the community where, why don't we just partner with this person or this person without understanding what the actual objective is? They just think that we want to do this, but not fully thinking it through. And an expert like yourself, I'm hoping you can kind of share your expertise on that a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's with every partnerships, there's an objective, which categorizes the partners and depending on the objective. Yeah. So there are partners that you will sign for cross promotional work, meaning you showcase your product to their community, they showcase their product to your community. And those are very common. However, as you know, with a lot of those smaller promotional partnerships, they are just like a lot of those are utilized for pure hype in Web3, which I'm not a big fan of, which nobody actually likes, where people just are like, yeah, we are the best, that's the product, join the airdrop, and that's it. Like that's not the way to go, I would say. So partnership a true partnership is really something where you have a value add through that partnership that produces at least hopefully a great product, or some other event or something else that adds value to the communities, but also to the projects themselves. And with different collaborations, you can call it whatever the objective is. You have partners that help you to enter certain markets. You have partners that help you to unlock certain languages that you, for example, haven't been covering so much. And you can see them as promotional partners, but you can also, part of those deals start with being a promotional partner, and then growing into a deeper partnership where the teams, start with promotional and fun activities, but scale it up to the point that they will, for example, build a product together. So partnerships are a beautiful, creative process, in particular in Web3, but they are also very, very helpful to reach new eyes and to reach new communities worldwide.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, it's about making your list of targets. Where do you want to go with your partnership management, basically?
And also where do they want to go? I think you have to make sure it's beneficial for both parties.
Yeah,
well, sure.
And that's what's fun, man. Like, honestly, like, because I've seen Lauren do his thing in meetings and stuff, and like, I mean, Scarx, you've actually kind of seen some of the stuff I've learned from Lauren as well. And I think that's the fun stuff in those meetings. It feels like it's a bit of a dance. It's like, you're not trying to cheat them out of anything, but you're trying to get the most that you can, but you're trying to give them what they want. And it's a nice little like push and pull. And it's, again, the funnest thing that I've kind of experienced is like the relationships that you build, where like someone comes in, your first meeting, everything's cold business. And then months later, you're all chilling out, having a good time, laughing. It's all, all right, how do we help each other? Instead of, how can we get the most out of you? Is how can we help? And I think that is nice to see. That's the fun stuff in this. But yeah, Scarx, I'll leave you with the next one.
Well, I think just general collaboration is really powerful in general. And like even myself, I know I'm probably not the only one, but when I go out with some mates and things like that, we go around to get to a bar or something. One of us will probably get all the rounds of beers, and the next time we go out, the other one will get all the rounds of beers. And I think it's a little bit like that. Like, you just build these relationships and these connections, and maybe one day you're doing all the tweets and you're trying to help promote their brand, and then maybe they have something coming up and they use it to help you, and it's just one of those things where you just build a strong connection between two people that have similar interests, really. I think Illuvium and a gaming brand makes a lot of sense. But the next thing I want to know is, what is your favorite type of partnership? Okay, like, there's a few different kinds of people you can approach, and maybe some work better than others for Illuvium in particular. But things like brand deals, celebrities, sports brands, are they all similar? Are they very, very different? Or how do you go about approaching them?
I mean, there are partnerships that, in general, it's hard to say if there's one particular partnership group that I like the most. I mean, even like partnerships with influencers or other Web3 projects can be very different from deal to deal. But the most important thing, like the most part that I like when it comes like the deals that I like the most, basically, are deals that are outside the box, like that really do something really cool that you haven't seen before. And I have a lot of cool ideas once we're live and public with our 3 gaming titles, how we can unlock even more mainstream through building not only bridges between a Web 2 and Web 3 company, but also Web 3 and the real world, non-digital world. So such things are super fun to work on because they are completely new territory. And I'm very excited to take this on me as well once we're further down the line with the releases.
Yeah, that's yo. So this is something that again, me and you have spoken about quite a bit. I think when we first started, we wanted to do like tournaments, influencer tournaments, and things like that. And then reality kind of hit us that we don't have PvP, or the game wasn't in a state where we could go down those partnership routes or marketing initiatives. And so currently, we're very, oh, personally, I'm grateful that we have Illuvium Beyond, because that kind of opens up a world of partnerships in that direction. But for the game itself, we still are in a closed beta. We're still in a private beta. We still don't have PvP. With that being the case, what kind of difficulties does that present to you when it comes to trying to ink some deals, when it comes to approaching some potential partners? How does that play a part in the discussion, and how does that kind of sway the way you approach those discussions?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, partnership management and onboarding new partners is not a fast game. So it takes time, especially with big brands. So from a partnerships perspective, it's not the, yeah, like it is in it gives us time to prepare for the launches and to onboard great partners, to set everything right, that as soon as we are live and those games are public, there's an infrastructure of partners, an ecosystem of partners that exists. And that's, I've been doing this quite heavily in Web3. So with, questing platforms like DQuest and that summer campaign that we have put together, like all of these partnerships in Web3 are building an ecosystem, and we are signing them already. Well, some of those even with the idea of what happens when the games are on the market.
Yeah.
And there are other partners that, with Gamestop and this collection, like collaboration partners. This collaboration, we are, Illuvium Beyond is live. We can showcase what we have to a huge Web2 audience. People can see it. And it makes sense to get, while we're still working on the titles, getting people to know what they are and how they look and what Web3 has accomplished in terms of graphics and gameplay. And it's just a great visibility to have early on, to as soon as we're live, we are kicking off with a lot of people playing our titles.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's so exciting, but you're right. Like, all these things just have such a broad lens, and one of them is the game's going to come out at some point. So where everything's in preparation for that, regardless. So the next thing we'll talk about is, we've heard Kieran mention that they're working on a closed deal with a top 5 esports team. In various AMAs, he said that in various AMAs, sorry. What can you share about the objective of a partnership like that? Like, what does an esports org really bring to Illuvium? Obviously, we want to have an esports scene, but like, even before that happens, like, it won't happen straight away. Kind of what sort of stuff do we hope to achieve?
Yeah, it ties again into the idea of bridging Web 2 into Web 3. Because those esports teams, they have a heavy presence in Web 2. They are followed by the Web 2 gamers. And the Web 2 gamers of today are the Web 3 gamers of tomorrow, after we are public with our betas. So making partnerships here is another channel to not only create cool products together with those teams, but also to showcase Illuvium to a large Web 2 audience. And I've been saying this now for a long time. Web 3 gaming needs Web 2 players. So we need to get people into our space so it can really take off. Yeah. Otherwise, if we remain with the same small pool where we are right now in Web 3 gaming, that is not the pool that can make and such big games scale. We really need to get bridges and avenues into Web 2 to allow people to come over and check out Web 3 gaming.
Yeah,
and esports teams are part of that strategy.
Yeah, I agree. Yo, Skarx, I know you want to jump in. Sorry, I'm just gonna share one thing with the people that if they don't know. So me and Lauren worked on something a couple months back, and we were doing some research on numbers. And I think the number that we found was in the Web3 space today, or in March, I think it might have been in March actually, was like a million daily active wallets. That's what it is in Web3, and even that, how many of them are bots, how many of them are people, but 1 million in total daily active. So compared to the 3 billion gamers, 1 million is incredibly small. Like that's not even, so focusing on that isn't the greatest strategy at all. And like what Lauren kind of mentioned, or both of you guys mentioned about word of mouth from a trusted friend. The thing is with esports teams and these influencers, which is why I love my job so much, is they are those trusted friends. They are those trusted people with millions of reach, right? You could, kick back on a couch and trust your friend there, or you could go to an influencer that someone watches every single day. If they say something, more than likely you're going to trust them if it is someone that you follow. So that's why I think something like the esports thing makes perfect sense. Sorry, Skarx, I cut you off there.
No, that's all good. I was going to extend on the Web 2 conversation because I have something that you might have a lot better understanding of than myself. And I know you're not like a legal representative or anything like that, but recently we've seen a lot of large celebrities promoting crypto projects that aren't necessarily top tier. The one that comes to mind is Kim Kardashian promoting one of the meme coins or whatever and losing a ton of people a lot of money. And obviously people are trying to take them to court and all that sort of stuff. Do you think partnering with a celebrity has much benefit after all this stuff has happened? And
good question.
And more importantly, where do you think the legality sort of stuff sits with this sort of thing? Like, are people that are promoting projects just as culpable as anyone doing something dodgy behind the scenes? We've also got all the FTX scandal type stuff. Really, all these are all partnerships in one sense or another. Like, I'd love to hear all your thoughts on this sort of stuff.
Celebrity endorsements are an interesting one. The thing is, like a lot of celebrities, and that's for sure not the case for every single one, are more, interested because they haven't experienced Web3 yet. They don't know what a rug pull is. They don't know what how to identify a good versus a bad project. They are like, and that's all my assumptions, but I assume that many of those see the website, see the have the interaction with the team, do that checks,
due diligence,
but that due diligence is not looking into more crypto specific things like a rug pull. So I believe that a lot of celebrities are not aware of what is happening at all. So they are more paid marketing, I would say, to showcase brands to their audience. And the results of this, I think, a lot of brands actually, like a lot of Web3 projects, use that channels to reach a lot of people and got their hype from celebrity endorsements. However, that has changed too. So celebrities are way more cautious being associated with a Web3 game than they were before, or Web3 title. Celebrities are also, in general, what I've experienced, a little bit more knowledgeable now when it comes to Web3. So they do, some of those can identify the good versus the bad players, or the promising versus the not so promising projects. And it's in total, they're a good way to showcase your brand to a huge audience. Many of those are not even Web3, so you are tapping into mainstream. But on the other side, it's for the celebrity crucially important to pick the right partner. And you don't want, as a celebrity, have any association with shady projects, because that can really damage your reputation long term, like it did for some actually, and that partnered with the wrong projects in Web3.
Yeah, and this is actually interesting. I've got opinions on this one as well. And by the way, Dimitri is in the chat, so shout out Dimitri always. Yeah, with the celebrity thing, this is something that I think I've spoken to you about this, Lauren. I think there's a difference between like someone who's or a brand or an individual that's culturally impactful compared to paper impactful. So what I mean by that is on paper, getting someone like Tom Brady, was it Tom Brady or Matt Damon? Matt Damon on crypto.com. On paper, it's like, yo, shit, they got Matt Damon. That's sick. But did Matt Damon move the culture? Did having Matt Damon there actually move that many people to make that shift in their lifestyle into something like that? I don't think so. Whereas, and this is where the difference is, like acknowledging Kim Kardashian is also a celebrity, but I think she's way more culturally impactful than Matt Damon is. Or, for example, even Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise is a pretty big name. Is he culturally impactful? For his movies, yes, but if he promotes something, I don't think that's culturally impactful. I think someone that has maybe 200,000 viewers on a YouTube channel might be more culturally impactful, right? So understanding that difference, that not all celebrities are, because they're big, impressions aren't everything. Just because they're big and well-known doesn't actually mean much. We need to understand who has cultural relevance. Those are the people that are actually going to make a difference. And that goes with brands, that goes with influencers and creative celebrities as well. So the idea of let's just get celebrities, I think, again, is very surface level, and we need to start to think deeper than that. Again, like what's the objective here? If we want impressions, maybe that might be, but I still think word of mouth and going cultural makes more sense, because you might get short term less views, long term you're gonna get more views because it's gonna spread more. So that's kind of yeah. And yo, Lauren,
Just to add to this,
yeah,
like most of those deals, like you have KPIs for visibility, meaning the reach, the conversion rates. You have different KPIs for like a lot of different marketing KPIs that you can take into account here and say, okay, those are the objectives. I want to see with this campaign a reach of like 5 million people and want to have X amount of conversions from that. However, there's one KPI that is a little bit harder to track, but I think also one of the key drivers for these celebrity endorsements, and this is credibility.
Yes.
What does it mean? You are now a Web3 brand, limited in your marketing channels, but on your website, mostly like the trailer will run back and forth the whole time, showcasing the celebrity endorsement, not because it's a celebrity only, but also it's the credibility that you get from someone like Matt Damon. So it does make sense from a project point of view to who's the person that can help us to reach X amount of people. But maybe that's not the objective. Maybe the objective is really, I want to differentiate my brand versus others and be credible because people trust Matt Damon, so they will trust us.
Yeah.
And that makes
perfect sense.
I would have even added another layer on top of that. And I think it's quite an interesting dynamic. And it was a meta. I don't think it works anymore, but it was a meta where crypto was all fueled by hype, right? Especially during bull runs, money goes up because of hype. Very, very simple. And what happens is Matt Damon isn't actually bringing in Web 2 people into Web 3. But what is happening is a Web 3 person is looking at 5 exchanges, and one of them has Matt Damon, and 4 of them don't. And so they choose the Matt Damon one because they think everyone else is going to choose it just because of all the hype. So everyone jumps on the same bandwagon and hopefully they make money, sort of a thing. But again, I don't think that works anymore. And I don't really think that's going to work in the future. But I think it's actually going to lean more towards what TSG said, and it's going to become all culturally significant. So I think 99% of celebrities, if they endorse something, it's not going to work. But if you did manage to get oh, what's his name? The guy that loves space and astronomy and stuff.
Oh, Neil
yeah.
deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. If you got Neil deGrasse Tyson onto a crypto project that was all about space or wayfaring and things, spacefaring and things like that, then it might work. Or if you got Elon Musk into anything technologically related, it would do a really good job. I think, yeah, it's going to be, it's always going to be shifting. But yeah, gaining that credibility is really what you're after.
Yeah. So, Lauren, we need to aim for Elon Musk. Yeah, next month.
Just call him right now.
Yeah, you got him speed dial, right?
Yo, E, what's up?
Oh shit! All right, yo, let's wrap this up. And yo, that right there is a perfect example of the conversation that we have. Where that's why you are the Master Jedi, and I am the apprentice, because I learn like the different kind of the processes. But yo, oh yeah, sorry.
No, man, you are doing a fantastic job, and I'm so grateful like that we not only started the same day, but we work so closely together. And yeah, there's so much more cool stuff happening on the partnerships front. So very, very excited to see more of those roll out.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything. No, let's end it off nicely. I've got a fun question actually. I'll throw it to you, SkyRX, and then we'll wrap it up with Lauren giving your answer as well. But yo, if you could name, I'll say 3. If you can't name 3, fuck it, do 1 or 2. I'm not gonna. There's no rules. But yo, if you could name 3 ideal fucking dream partners, SkyRX, for Illuvium, who would they be?
You really put me on the spot.
Yeah, I realized that when I was thinking this question. I was like, I'm not giving you guys any chance to prepare. I need to give Lauren the time to prepare.
large gaming brands are an easy one. If you could partner with Riot, I think that's easy. I think what's better than getting TFT streamers to stream Illuvium is getting TFT characters inside Illuvium. I think that's an easy win. Like you cross-pollinate it. It's how Fortnite got all its players is through Marvel and stuff like that. And that would be the second one I would say is a large Disney related. I don't love Disney at the moment with all the political nonsense, but a large Web 2 Hollywood brand would be powerful, something like a Disney. Because using that IP is invaluable. That IP is pretty much king at the moment. So you've got someone like Riot, which has a similar game. Someone like Disney, which has a large major IP. And the third one would probably have to be a creator of some kind, I think. But you got to find someone genuine, someone people trust. At the moment, I watch a lot of Moist Critical. I think he's just a really honest person. He loves playing lots of different games, and he likes having fun. I think he'd probably be a great person to partner with.
No, sick. Lauren, all right, go for it, man. Top 3 fucking dream partners.
Yeah, I will stay away from naming partners, but maybe I can
potentially be a real thing.
So one big part of this is Web 2, so Web 2 gaming, and partnering with hardware, like gaming hardware producers, and esports companies that are really building brands in esports that are currently heavily used in Web 2, but haven't made that cut yet in Web 3. That's one crowd of people, like one crowd of projects, brands that we want to be partnered with. The other part, like the other ones, are like big global brands. Like you name it, it is possible to find some way to work together. If it's a car collection or something else, like brands that have global reach, global coverage, and that are interested on collaborating on physical or digital products, that's definitely something that will help to boost Illuvium's mainstream adoption. And yeah, the last group I would identify as my little out of the box group of things that are not there yet, but I would love to have personally. So that's really my own opinion. But for example, out of the box idea, how cool would it be if the fuel that you produce on your land in Illuvium Zero can not only fuel your engine in Overworld, but potentially even in the real world? So such out of the box crazy ideas, like damn, I produced X and Y to exchange in real life electricity to drive around with my car. Something out of the box, unusual.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I love.
That's the
And
target.
StoryX, you have a good laugh.
He's like, yo, this is the guy in charge of partnerships.
I'm imagining going to like a petrol station and showing them my MetaMask wallet and shit.
Nah, I mean, yo, like Lauren's saying that I already know, like there are. It's just how do you get to that point, right? Like there are ways to do it. It's just how do you get to that point?
But I think you're going down the heel. I think you're going down the helium route. Doesn't helium? You have all these different Wi-Fi modems and stuff like that, and you earn crypto by helping support a special network over wireless connections and things like that. I think ideas like that could fit really well into Illuvium, and I think kind of that would be where I would go with out of the box is special devices that somehow power the Illuvium world, but from the real world. I don't know.
Yeah. Now there are ways. Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. Again, we've only been, well, Laura, you've only been doing this for like 9 months in Illuvium. So it's like, dude, I mean, I say we. You again, the title of this fucking thing was the mastermind behind Illuvium X Gamestop. Being the mastermind, getting Gamestop in 9 months, the stuff that we have coming out, I already know. Like, dude, in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years time, who knows the shit that we're gonna knock out, right? And again, I'm trying to play a bit more of an active role in that as well. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun, man. We're already having fun. I think it's gonna be a really good time. It's gonna be a fucking great time.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, sick, man. Look, we're pretty much at the hour mark. Yo, Lauren, appreciate you coming on, man. I've been trying to get you on for a while. Obviously, we said we'll do it after the GameStop thing. I'm glad we did it on the day of the announcement. Yeah, appreciate you. Again, I'll probably speak to you after this shit. But yeah, any kind of last words before we wrap this up, man? Anything you want to say to the community where they've been asking for you for quite a bit, to be completely honest. They're always asking, yo, who's the guy behind partnerships? Any kind of last words you wanna say?
Yeah. First of all, thank you guys, both of you, for inviting me. Really, really nice chatting here, and also seeing all these comments from the community members. Thank you guys for being such an active and great supportive community. If someone has any partnership ideas, if you think that someone listening in, this is a partner that Illuvium should be talking to, reach out through our various channels. You can send me or TSG or the official right, through the official channels. You can contact us. Yeah, sorry, the last partner here that TSG mentioned.
We're working on it.
Oh, no, it's on our list now. No, but get in touch with great ideas. We need community members having some out-of-the-box crazy stuff. I love that stuff. I love cool ideas that are unusual, but help us to achieve mainstream adoption, help us to showcase Illuvium to a Web 2 audience, a large brand, like large brands, such things. Contact us and we'll be in touch. And thanks again, yeah, for having me.
Nah, all good, man. Pleasure always.
Take a load off, man. Take a load off, man. I think we all need a little bit of rest. It's been a whirlwind of a month. We've got another whirlwind of a month coming up by the sounds of it, and then a little bit of a rest, and then PvP. Looking forward to it.
Fingers crossed. All right, all good, guys. Appreciate you. Yeah, peace.